Hello, and welcome back to Control. In the previous episode, we have finished the main part of the game, the main quest, if you will. We have located and turned off the slide projector, stopping the hiss. Some hiss still remains, of course. It's as I said previously, it's kind of like the situation with the mold. You remove the source, but something still remains.
I found a couple of relevant files in Dr. Darling's office. I'd have to dig through the archives for the rest, but I'm not going through the book. Not with the altered items loose.
Then go see if any ranger squads are available for a file retrieval mission.
Now we have an opportunity to talk with people around us. Right now, Arish and Emily. And there is also Variance in Alterations, whatever that is. His corruption manifests in vastly different ways. Some hosts remain largely unchanged, while others are barely recognizable as human. What determines this level of alteration? Is it the duration of corruption? It could simply be an evolutionary process, each entity representing a stage of growth in an undiscovered linear progression leading towards what? Additionally, his entities possess various supernatural abilities. How have they achieved this? Do they gain them from corrupting objects of power? Have they corrupted a single highly talented para-utilitarian and divided their access to supernatural abilities across the network of his corrupted hosts? As a scientist, I'm hindered by the sheer number of questions. It's difficult to identify where one should begin. What is the most pertinent question? How do we kill it? That seems like a good start. Emily?
Jesse, good to see you. We've got Dylan situated in his containment cell like you asked. I've got medical staff running tests as we speak, and I'd be happy to walk you through the details later. Other than that, what's next?
With the slide projector turned off, the hiss are shut out, but we're stuck with the ones already here. We can't lift the lockdown until they're all eradicated. If any hiss ever got out, that would be the end of everything.
Well, eliminating them all will take time. Look, I'll do what I can on my end, but my research is progressing slower than I'd like.
I think I can help with that. I am making you the head of research, effective immediately. I want you to use everything the Bureau has, every resource, every confidential scrap of data, and find a way to keep the hiss out for good.
That's... really? I mean, yes, I can certainly... Yes! Yes, I accept.
Of course you do.
You'll do great. Besides, I didn't really have anyone else lined up.
I'm honored, Jesse, really. Thank you.
It's been a long time coming, honestly. I mean, okay, to be fair, it's not like I know all the personnel, right?
Do you remember Mr. Tommasi, the head of communications?
Yes.
The hiss he was changed into showed up in containment, near the turntable.
I'll take care of it.
That thing's not getting away this time.
I've heard reports about his particular use of language and intonation when repeating the hiss babbling. The biological and behavioral distinctions between different hiss-corrupted individuals is truly fascinating. I wonder if I could categorize the data.
And she's already off on her own thing.
Mr. Tommasi.
How do you feel about me taking over as director?
You act like it just happened. You've been director since we first met, remember? I'm still thrilled. Nothing's changed. Not for me. But the Bureau has changed. Trench and Darling are gone. Their knowledge, anything not written down, disappeared with them. They knew the Bureau better than anyone.
They're the Bureau's past, Emily. We won't operate like they did. We'll learn from their mistakes. We'll be better than they ever were.
We won't ever be like them.
You know, families, right? Parents and children, everybody knows that it's kind of normal, it's kind of expected that there will be some kind of like contradiction as how in like maybe tense in a relationship, that kind of stuff. But it also kind of at least in my perception, it's rather often that when a child tries not to be like parents, ends up being like a parent, almost exactly the same. So I'm just concerned that so Darling and Trench gone, their knowledge is gone, so they made mistakes, and now you claim that like yes, we will do absolutely everything like way better than they were doing. But in this eagerness, in this um, yeah, just this this desire to not follow their footsteps, or rather improve on their. See, it's not just improving. They were the ways how these people do stuff, but we will do it way better. And like, I mean, both Darling and Trench, they were good employees. Like, if we consider their maybe professional achievements, because for example, the Containment and Panopticon, I think it's a good idea in general. Maybe some containment procedures could be improved, but maybe it is generally like a good idea that streamlines the research and investigation of altered items on maybe objects of power, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, things went wrong when Trench got corrupted, and maybe there was distrust and everything, which is maybe why Darling hid stuff from Trench, because Darling was with the Hadron and Polaris, right? So maybe that rift between the head of research and the director is what caused a lot of problems. And maybe it was going for years, and maybe this was the root cause of all the mistakes that they were done, that has been done. And like nobody right here at this moment is corrupted, as far as we know, of course. So maybe we need to just kind of level our arrogance. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just not an ambitious person in general, and I don't like when somebody displays that much ambition. I don't know. Anyway,
When the hiss got into my head, I saw some weird things. I think Darling even spoke to me. Does that make any sense to you?
Empirically, no, but phantom voices as well as hallucinatory states are not uncommon here. And considering the forces that Dr. Darling was working with, he could have been transferred to a different plane of consciousness, physically or otherwise.
And that doesn't upset you?
Oh, very. And the fact that he hid those forces from me, it's infuriating. But Darling's dream was always to look beyond our reality. This time he may have taken a step too far, but as long as his consciousness can perceive his surroundings, I'm sure he's loving it.
Maybe Darling was just trying to protect you from the darker side of his work.
Fuck that. I'm not a child. Like, don't just assume I'm gonna consider something morally repugnant.
Which it all was.
Which it all was, of course.
How was Dylan?
The same. I can't detect any his activity, but his physiology has certainly been altered by it. And I can't tell if his brain activity is genuine or simply the aftermath of the hiss, like spasms. Dylan could wake up tomorrow for all I know. I really can't say.
Then I just have to wait for him. That's fair. He waited a long time for me.
Don't worry. We'll be monitoring him round the clock. If he wakes up, we'll be ready. I don't mean that in a hostile way, just... well, you know.
I hear you. My brother
I'm
isn't exactly popular around here.
I hope one day he'll have the chance to change that.
I'm so curious whether Dylan will wake up from coma in the end of the following game.
So, There was a moment after Hedron died that I couldn't feel my powers. The hiss got into my head. Just for a moment.
So that explains the HRA outage. Before we knew what was happening, the hiss had us. They were in my head. I saw terrible things. I mean, I was about to go under forever when the hiss was pushed back. The HRAs had come back on. Dylan vanished afterwards, and we fought off the hiss that came after him. So if Hedron's death knocked out the HRAs, that means there must be a new local source for them to relay, which I'm guessing must be...
Me.
Me.
you. Hedron is dead, assuming that word even applies to a resonant-based life form. But whatever it awakened in you, the power you call Polaris, is still active. Or at least, that's what my instruments are telling me.
I don't think we're ever gonna understand all of this. And I'm okay with that. I'm just glad you're here with me.
That's good to know. Thanks, Emily.
Now I can't help but wonder if so Jessie is not immortal, right? She will eventually pass away. So is there a way to transfer Polaris to the following director? Can it be done willingly, or it's something that Polaris can only take care of?
I found Dylan attacking the astral plane and the board. What was he hoping to accomplish?
Huh. Since they arrived, Hiss have been corrupting objects of power, which have an inherent link to the astral plane. Maybe their goal was to access the astral plane, and the board itself.
That still doesn't tell us why.
His motives are a difficult thing to work out, but I have been digging through confidential files and noticed a strange gap in knowledge regarding the board. Looks like any data on them has either been deleted or was never gathered in the first place.
Then maybe it's time someone looked into that.
Maybe it is.
Who are we even working for?
Well, I've got a bureau to run. See you soon.
Yes, ma'am, Director Faden.
Please, Emily.
There haven't been
Not
any
even as a
settings in the
joke.
Ocean View Motel. Could survivors be hiding inside?
It's possible. I remember a report.
We gotta be methodical. Clean out every last hiss with one thorough sweep, room by room. But if there's a building shift and even one get behind our line... Fuck, this place is a pain in the ass sometimes. I heard you closed the hiss portal, or whatever it is we're calling it. If we could just flush out the stragglers.
So, what's next for Simon Arish?
Well, first off, I'm banning all slide projectors. That's it. Seriously, though, we need to review our protocols. Research should not be making decisions that endanger the entire Bureau, fuck it, the entire fucking world, without some serious oversight.
I think Pope would agree. Certain people in the Bureau have been working in the shadows for too long.
And I'd like to make these HRAs part of the mandatory Bureau uniform. They're not stylish, but better safe than sorry.
I don't think anyone will complain. Not after this.
Finally, you can miniaturize them. Because, or maybe just change the placement somehow. I'm just not sure, like, do they even need bullet protection like as Rangers? Or some other form of kinetic protection? Because I'm not sure that this thing can stop, for example, a boulder that I can throw at people.
What are your thoughts on me serving as director?
Well, I couldn't be more excited. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Trench was fine, but you pulled us back from the brink, so... Well, I'm honored to serve, man. I mean, fuck, shit. Faden. Sorry.
He'll get it one day. So, what's the situation in my bureau, Arish?
My bureau.
The situation is we are still up to our eyes in hiss. Not to mention the months of repairs it's gonna take just to get this place up and running again.
But is it doable?
Of course it is. You just might need to tell some rangers to grab a wrench once they're done hunting his.
Did anyone ever mention to you that Darling was using the slide projector?
Salvador never did, but I doubt he even knew. Look, I'm well aware that it's our job to study and contain the things that we don't understand, but some of the things that Darling did were way outside of our mission statement. Look, these things are not toys, and acting like they are is only ever going to end one way. At least Pope seems to understand that.
Well, it's secure now. No one can reach it without my say-so.
But thank Christ for that.
Where did you put it?
Marshall's been missing for a while now. Any ideas where she could be?
The last time I saw her was in maintenance when I was leading the Rangers out of the Atlas. Yeah, I told her it wasn't safe, but she said she had to go check on something.
Did you ask where she was going?
Whew. Marshall is not the kind of person you question. Kind of intimidating, you know? But, she was by herself, if that helps at all.
Not really, but thanks.
Hopefully she turns up.
I'll see you later.
You know where I'll be.
Do I want to do personal protection or not really? I want to check on Dion right now.
When do you think Marshall's coming back? It's not like her to be absent during a crisis.
Marshall's as tough as they come. You don't need to worry about her.
I hope.
I'll be here waiting for you when you wake up, brother. If you wake up.
Yeah.
Trench is dead, along with Salvador.
Wants a full physical examination. Specifically looking for any physiological markers.
Let's see. Yeah, the turntable, you say. Oh no. I did not really think it through. This is the turntable. No, that's just a maintenance room. That one doesn't count. Transit corridor north. Tommasi, where are you? This is some very good suit if you can move like this with the suit. What's there and how do I get there? Yeah. Is it not coming? No, okay. Where are you, Tommasi? So apparently there is a small section on the map that I've not been to. The one to the west of the turntable. And the door there was open. So that begs the question. What is there? Sterling. Hello, Tommasi. Okay. Come on. Sheesh. That was a close one at one moment. Sterling. Summary. A paranatural object appeared in a field outside the town of Sterling, Colorado, near a billboard advertising. No civilians were injured, though a family dog has been reported as missing since the event. Local authorities arrived on the scene and began issuing orders over a monitored line of communication using several watchwords flagged by Bureau. Bureau agents from the regional office were dispatched and arrived 2 hours after local police. The situation was contained and analysis began. Bureau research staff arrived the next day and examined the object. After days of evaluation, the object was lifted into an enclosed truck with built-in black rock panels and relocated to Bureau headquarters via the subway transit system leading into the oldest house. You transported a giant boulder here. That whiteboard does not tell me much. Supplement. Local witnesses report a bright flash in the field at approximately. No noise accompanied the light. Authorities had assumed the object fell from the sky, but our examination found an object actually manifested there, vaporizing the soil around it in an intense spherical, which possibly explains the light seen from the town. The object is a hollow sphere made of a stone-like material. Structural analysis of the material does not on record. The sphere has a broken portion as if something from the object. The object has been inactive since arriving at the Bureau. The communications department officially stated to the press that the object was a small meteor while also using the America Overnight program to note the AWE will be studied in the containment sector until the spherical object is deemed safe to be transferred to the investigation sector.
You're listening to America Overnight, now in our 29th year, lifting the veil between fiction and reality. Thank you for staying up with us. I've been getting a lot of calls about this meteor in Sterling, Colorado. There are reports of a large spherical container that crash-landed in a field outside town. Some government people reportedly took it away. Now, we happen to broadcast from Colorado, and Sterling isn't far. I drove down myself to check it out with members of the America Overnight team. I don't need to tell you, it wasn't long before we found pieces of metal debris scattered in a field. Listeners, this is yet another instance of an unidentified flying object, or UFO, entering our airspace and crashing. That the government took away the evidence under cover of darkness only compounds the fact that these are more than likely visitors from beyond our planet, or dare I say, solar system. Head on over to our website to see pictures of the spacecraft pieces we uncovered. And while you're doing that, our sponsors would like your ear. America Overnight will be right back.
This was absolutely a UFO, yes. You're saying a piece of this missing. Do you mean this corner or? I don't see any other piece missing. The fact that it's hollow, like, I feel like maybe this should somehow play out in the future. Let's report to Emily.
I took care of the Tommasi problem. Sorry, I forget he was a coworker.
Don't apologize. That wasn't the real Tommasi. He died when the hiss got him.
You're right. I just didn't want to be insensitive.
Sentimentality is a weakness in situations like these, Jesse. That's Bureau 101.
I don't think Emily's in danger of being called sentimental.
Oh, absolutely not. Levitation, ammo efficiency, and something else.
Well,
But
I've got a bureau to run.
other
See
than
you
that,
soon.
it's just
Yes, ma'am, Director Faden.
Please, Emily. Not even as a joke.
Who moved my waveform of the hiss recording?
Sorry, ma'am.
so yeah, this is just a minor loose end that we tied up, and this was it. Hotline chamber. I can access it through the director's office, right? Can I get to the nostalgia department, by the way? Oh, there is simply nothing here. I don't think there is anything. Yeah, I just push against the wall, and this is it. Oh well. Oh, come on. Maybe seizure is now an ability I should consider, simply because throwing objects at enemies now brings them down to low health instead of actually killing them, and that allows me to immediately overtake them. Like Pierce and God damn it, how do you call it? No, I can't even find it. Damn it. So the throw ability, it used to one-shot most enemies as well, which is no longer the case, of course. So, television proposal. Based on the success of America Overnight, we would like to propose the creation of a television series that presents superstition and skeptical thought as entertainment in order to popularize these concepts among the civilian population and create less resistance to redirecting information regarding public supernatural events. We can also use a solid media outlet to test supernatural concepts on civilian audiences, seeing how they react to certain facts presented as fiction, in the event that the Bureau ever decides to make certain realities public knowledge. There are various show licenses that we could purchase and reboot rather than starting from scratch. One particular property seems promising, especially considering its content and tone are precisely what we're looking for. It's called Night Springs and has been off the air for a few years now. Something like that will only be possible in the quaint town of Night Springs.
Director Faith did a fine job handling this, especially considering how we
Let's see. Yeah. I'm coming.
Even if it was a dream, I feel Darling reached out to me through the hotline. I have a feeling he and Trench won't be the only callers from the beyond.
Situation/crisis/uh-oh in Foundation. We demand your attention/Moxie. Oldest house is in danger. We opened the door/tree in maintenance. Hurry/post haste.
Problem in the Foundation. That was Auti's vacation spot. We need to check this out.
Let's do this. I have once again 9 abilities, but this time I am actually severely considering, seize. How do you call this? I just launch. Okay. Maybe I can launch basic enemies. I mean, that would also kind of resolve my issues, right? I assume if you start throwing people around, they are not kind of alive anymore. Wait a second, where is... Oh, you call it Foundation, not the restricted area. Alright. Well, time to check the Foundation.
Quiet. Trans-dimensional. This place really suits Ahti. So that etching is the door. Okay, let's try opening it.
Here we go. Foundation.
No time for sightseeing. The board said this was an emergency.
Maybe we also need to search for Marshall, by the way. She was around the Atlas chamber, right? Research site
Looks
Gamma.
like no one's been down here in a while.
Okay. Just rocks growing immediately. That's cool.
Crystals are kind of pretty. Emily would be having a field day down here.
I would not use the word pretty. I don't like the fact that the crystals can grow that fast.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something else. The floors crawl, the walls slither, it's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does. How did we miss it? Northmore. Acting director Northmore now is on a train from Washington. He'll expect answers, which is why I'm making these tapes. They're evidence that I'm at least trying to understand. Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course, Father, the great director Ash, would have been the first man in. And look at me, his bookworm son, the supposed head of research who can't stop his legs from shaking long enough to step over the threshold.
It's not easy when your relative is in such a powerful position as a director. Maybe things are expected from you, and you're just afraid to not deliver.
Foundation. Bottom of the oldest house. Stop the hiss.
Marshall? How was she on the hotline? Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
I only heard of the Foundation when I became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only. Just the name alone is classified. Zachariah gave me a tour the day I was promoted. Said I should see it for myself, to understand. After that, I snuck down on my own from time to time to keep tabs on the place, and on them. But nothing ever changed down there. Not even the walls. It's solid, permanent, different from the rest of the house. Of course, they were always watching me. I never stayed long. I'm not stupid. I have to stop the hiss from finding this place. I'm the only one who can.
Who was watching you? And why he's finding this place would be this dangerous? I mean, if you call this foundation, is this what actually holds the oldest house in place? Or is that the foundation of the board somehow? Like, is there a direct link to the board?
Hiss found their way down here too, huh?
So this is to the research site Delta, and what's here? Can I even reach this place? Because I have some severe doubts of that. No, it's too high. How do I... what the... where am I? I'm staring there. How very peculiar. I came from there, right? So what's here? Oh, yeah, there is a box. Foundation/Crossroads. You bastard. I hit the metal pole. Like, come on. What was that launch health recovery that I just picked up? Health recovery on launch hits. I mean, I will lose third of my health, right? But I will recover health. Damn it, I am curious in trying that one out. I'm very curious. Ammo cost while levitating. I mean, that might be interesting. Assets, not very interested. Do I have any new constructs or new abilities? Well, not at the moment. Okay. Funny enough that the charge actually damages me. That is weird. I cannot crush the rocks. Why can I not crush the rocks? Cave paintings. At first, I thought the cave paintings in the Foundation chronicled ancient humans' encounters with natural occurrences like weather, but it soon became clear they depicted events far outside the average human experience. Also, it seems I was wrong to assume the images are ancient. Radiocarbon dating suggests something impossible, that I've been down here longer than the paintings. That's absurd though. The style and medium clearly indicates a Paleolithic origin. I was ready to conclude that an ancient community of humans lived in or around the oldest house. Now with this information I don't know what to think. Is one of our agents drawing these? Or is there someone down here with us? This place has a habit of skewing my results, so perhaps the data is corrupted. Or perhaps some paintings were created at different times. The art does seem to chronicle not only the past, but also the present and possibly even the future. I see in them echoes of the board, some linear architecture, even what could be interpreted as a director. Are the paintings telling a story that's still being written? If so, who's writing it? That's an arena if I've ever seen one. Oh, what the? What the? Stop it!
This are using pickaxes now?
Well, why not? He's sharpened. His sharpened agents display the para-utilitarian ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it's not associated with any known object of power. However, we should not discount the possibility that this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effect. Other explanations of his sharpened abilities currently include momentary time manipulation, brief increase in physical speed, inhibiting the witness' sense of sight. If we do accept that his sharpens ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the his are either manifesting unique paranatural abilities or there are objects in the house that we aren't aware of. Either way, the his are continuing to develop new strains of corruption, and that is cause for concern. Do you think we'll find maybe Marshall body or just some notes on what exactly happened to her? Tom, you missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called an all-hands at the Crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of this hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau brass apparently solved the moving walls problem, or at least figured out a way to pinpoint where and when they happen. All I know is going up means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches with that ex-Nazi scientist, and goodbye piecing into the pit. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore is ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is petty if he thinks he wants to stay here and sift through more sand for him. It's just rusted iron flakes anyway. Did you know that? We were breathing that in. Crossroads. That kinda looks like mold. Oh, come on, Jesse. Ah, not again. You're teasing me with the same stuff. How dare you? Nothing over here, I guess? Sorry for that. Excellent. Mr. Wilder, I have some bad news. You remember that Robert Ricardo fellow we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls and a strange black pillar in the center. Kinda looks like the one at the Crossroads, but smaller. We had a bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guest. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's exploring days are over. I know we were careful to limit this guy's exposure to the non-ordinary. Dragging him and carrying him through the upper floor was a real hoot, by the way. But we really need to reevaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd better be off forming a special division trained in repelling and orienteering than subjecting more outsiders to the shit we deal with. They almost always end up dead or loony. Eyes covering the walls. Some black pillar. What is going on here? Who's that?
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension. What if this happens in the upper floors? It'll destroy the bureau.
Cave bleed. Astral Copy. With the astral plane now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. The copies' bodies are composed of a dense stone-like material that is both resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. Whether the astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by higher intelligence such as the board remains unknown. However, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Director Faden's encounters with these entities when binding objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential para-utilitarians to practice on. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It is important to note that they appear immune to his corruption.
I wish I'd brought Emily with me. I could really use my head of research right about now.
Oh, Polaris, chiming in.
Marshall? Marshall! You're alive!
Is she though?
Wait! It's Jesse! The director!
That is mighty suspicious.
Whoa. This place is huge.
Marshall? Can you hear me?
Looks
She
like
was
an
on the
arena to me.
hotline, so that person couldn't have been Marshall, right?
That's exactly
One
my train
problem
of
at a
thought.
time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
Investigate the nail. Before we explore the nail, let's study the area around. Maybe there is something to listen to, something to read for. Like what's that? Leylines. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the true relationship between the pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet attracting them? Pole north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies, a sprout nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power? Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be. Yep, that's the Nazi scientist we've briefly read about. The pillar found in the Crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house, or an intrusion within that heart. Or perhaps it's like the husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. Warning. Unstable area, watch for shifts. Is there something over there? No. I mean... Don't get me wrong, but it's not very intimidating because it looks broken. Okay, we have a direction to the base camp as well. and what I can only assume is some sort of mobile laboratory. Canyon rim, though closed. Dodge efficiency.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ranted about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Oh, we don't even know the rules.
Whoa. That was kind of a lot in such a short message. So, the Bureau operated without a service weapon for years, right? With numerous directors, it's relatively recent that the service weapon now designates a director. The board was not always present as well. It appeared when they stumbled on the oldest house, and they first stumbled on the foundation, right? Will I get to learn more about the board and maybe the nature of the service weapon? Oh, that would be so cool. That, however, will be cool in some later episode. For now, we will wrap it up. Thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay. If that's the case, please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, or otherwise let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.